Hi, Sharanya. Welcome to this class. Let's do a brief recap of what we've seen earlier. We've seen how to use Python as a calculator, where we had seen that there are three um, operators which are a bit different when it comes to Python. You have the floor division or the double division sign, which gives the quotient as a whole number, the percentage division sign, which gives you the remainder, and the exponents are represented by double asterisk. So if you want to write 2 to the power of 2, you write it. Instead of using a 2 hat 2, you write 2 double asterisk 2. Then we had seen how to use Python as a notebook, where we had seen that we could look at strings, which are sequences of characters. And these sequences can be of letters, alphabets, numbers, or special characters. How do you figure out you're writing a string?
There will be type in front of it.
I can't hear you. I think you're muted.
No, I'm not. Hello?
You know you can write a string between the quotes, right?
Yeah.
The third thing we had seen was the assignment, which is assigning a value to a variable. In this, the things to remember include that the variable names can contain letters, numbers, and underscores, though it must start with a letter, and there should be no space between the letter, number, and the underscores. They are case sensitive. So if you've written a capital X, it is not the same as a small x. You should avoid using Python's reserved words, which could include if, while, for, so anything which is part of a code. Assignment happens with an equal to sign, with the variable on the left side and the value on the right side, right? And yes,
Yes.
of course, I'm sure you remember Shreya. So that's Shreya and me on one of our walks. We've also seen some things on operators. So there are, of course, standard logical operators and or not, etc. And then we had comparison operators that are used to compare values and return Boolean results. Boolean means true, false, right?
Yes.
So here the two discerning factors are equality is represented by double equal to sign. Inequality is represented by a semicolon, and an equal to sign. So with this, let's get started on the code. I do hope you're following my channel. So yes, there is a data science for school channel that I run. And here you will find information and videos around Python for school and Excel for school. So we've seen certain things, if you might remember, Sharanya, that, what happens when you don't write a print in the lines which precede the last line? Do you remember?
Yes.
Okay, say what happens? The last line
If you
gets printed, right? But what happens?
Yes, but if you don't write print on the second last line, it won't get printed.
Absolutely. So if you want all the outcomes printed, you should write print in the lines above the last line. Then what is the natural way that a division outcome is seen? It's seen with as a float, right?
Yes.
With decimal places. How do you get help functions in Python?
There's the help button, so you can go
Yes.
there and get the help function.
Yes, you can write help and put down the code which you are looking at, or else you can go to help button, and here also you'll find what is the other way if you want, if you don't get it in these two places.
I don't know that.
Stack Overflow is another place where you can go. This is a community of people who are working on Python. And here you can ask a question. This community is very, very fast in answering the questions. Okay,
Thank you.
great. Now, how do you write a power sign here, like 2 raised to 5?
You can either put two asterisks or the little hat thing.
The little hat doesn't work in Python. So yes, you got it right, the first one, which is that you write two asterisks. The little hat is what you put in a calculator or in Excel. Okay. What are the different types of
Okay.
numeric values that you can see? What are the numeric values with decimal called? So there are floats
Uh,
and there are integers, right? Floats are the
yes.
numerical values with decimal
In,
places, and integers don't have decimal places.
yes.
Okay. Can you assign non-numeric values?
Yes, that's with the assignment function.
Yes. So you can assign a numeric value. You can also assign a non-numeric value. Okay. When you type the type function, you get what is the type of value. So if I say type A, it will tell me it's an integer, while I say type B, it's a string. Okay. Here again, the whole idea is to write print A, print B. Otherwise, what happens? The last one will get printed, not the others. Okay. A is equal to 2. This means that you are assigning A as 2. And then if you say A divided by 2, you will get an answer which does 2 divided by 2, because you know the assignment means that the system looks at those values. The answer you will notice here is a float format. So it has a decimal place, and if you only wanted the quotient and the remainder, you can use double um, divide
Double
function.
slashes and the percentage sign.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Great. Thank you. Integers, you can convert easily values from integers to float to objects, string objects. All you have to do is to do the right assignment. Okay.
Yes.
So if I say, that I want to assign A as 2.3 and I print what is the type of A, you will notice it will tell you it's a float. But then I want to see A as an integer, I can just say print A is equal to integer A. Okay, print integer A. Then what will it do? It will actually just show 2. So it will round it up to the correct integer. Okay, I could also convert it. I can write B is equal to integer of A and then say give me B, and here you'll notice that it will give you, rather if I write type, because how will it give me what is the type of B? You can see that B will show up as integer. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So here let's do this particular exercise. Here we'll assume that all the measurements will be in centimeters, and there is going to be a roll of material which is, or cloth, okay, which is going to be 140 centimeters wide. The price per meter will be 5 units of the currency. If it's in INR, it's 5 rupees. If it's in dollars, it's $5. So roll width, we are writing, assigning is 140, and the price is per meter is 5. Okay. So what are we doing here? We are doing the assignment. Okay. Um, Now, what do we want? We want to get an input from a customer. So a customer actually walks into the store and he says, I want to buy some cloth to make a curtain for my window. So you ask the customer, enter the height of the window in centimeters and enter the width of the window in centimeters. So if you will remember, that we can just put information or words within the um, sentence itself for the print, so to make it an interactive system, right? So he says there's 100 meters is the height and 50 meters is the width. Okay, so what do we want to do? Now, what happens is that though the material is 140 centimeters, we don't need, or we don't need the curtain width to be greater than the width of the window. So what do we want? We want to get 75% of the width of the window and add a 20 centimeter place for the stitching. Okay. So what are we saying? We are writing a formula saying that if this is whatever is the height and width of the window which the customer has put, then how much material will we need? We need material, or how big a curtain will we need at this stage? We will need a curtain which is 0.75 into the window width plus 20 centimeters, and the length will be the window height plus 15 centimeters. Okay. So with this, we do a further set of formula assignments to understand how big should be the curtain itself. Have you understood till this point better?
Yes.
Okay. Now we want to find out how many widths of the cloth will be needed and the total length of the material for each curtain. Okay. So we have the roll width, right? And we now know the curtain width. Okay. We have to divide the curtain width by the roll width to understand how much of the roll we need. And for the length, we have to look at the curtain length into the width, because there is no, it's a running piece of material. You have seen it in the market, right? Rolls of material. Okay.
Yes.
So we do that. And then therefore the system will tell us that how much, for the width, okay, breadth of the curtain, how much material we need. And for the length of the curtain, how much material we need. Okay. Now the thing is, this person has two windows. So what do? We must double the amount of the material. Okay. And all the calculations till now is in centimeters, but we want to know it in meters. So we have to divide it by 10. Okay. So let's look at it.
Okay.
So if it is 94.46 centimeters, if we want to print, okay. So it is telling us how many meters of cloth we will need. Okay. I think this has twice, this place has run twice. So what I do is I will just rerun this once. Yes. Okay. So we need 9.4 meters of cloth. Okay. Then how do we know the price, the budget that the person has to pay? How much? This will be the price is the total length. Okay. Into price per meter. Okay. So actually we did not name this as anything. This will be total length divided by 10, right? And then if we say we need 9 meters of cloth for 47, and whatever is the dollar or rupees is to be written, we can write it INR here, because we are in India. Let's write it with INR. Okay. So what have we done? We have actually automated the working. Now, this means that when somebody else comes and says that they have a different type of window. Okay, so let's see if customer 2 comes. And this customer actually has a 30 centimeter window and a 120 centimeter width. Then what will the calculation tell us? You can see it will auto calculate all the information. So this is what assignment does. It allows to reuse the code over and over again, right?
Yes.
Yes. So this is a great way to use a combination of assignment as well as combination of calculations to come out with the code. Now I'll pause at this stage, and will you just try this out?
Okay.
Great, Sharanya. Will you just explain this example once?
Here I've taken the example of a small dog and a big dog. So I first said that a small dog eats 2 eggs while a big dog eats four because the bigger dog is eats
Yes.
more. And the price of one egg is five.
Yes.
So when in one house there's one golden retriever, which is a big dog, and one Shih Tzu, which is a small dog. How many eggs do both the dogs eat in total, and how much does it cost? So
Yes.
in house one, we first say that the big dog eats 4 eggs and the small
Hmm.
dog eats 2 eggs. So 2 plus 4 is 6.
Hmm.
That's how many eggs they eat. Then cost of 6 eggs is 6 into the egg price,
Hmm.
or
Now
6
here,
into
beta, one
one.
thing you could have done, instead of writing 6, you can write house 1 eggs into egg price.
Yes,
Okay?
you could also do
Yeah,
that.
you could do that. Then what happens? When you change that value, it will automatically, you don't need to manually change it at different points. Hmm?
Yes.
Okay. Hmm. Then,
Press the setting.
yeah. So that's how you can print it. Okay, that's
Yes.
good. That's good. Now, here you will notice that I have listed down all the arithmetic functions, the equal to, not equal to, less than, equal to, greater than, equal to, etc. For us to be able
Yes.
to follow. Okay. We can do it at our own time, and if just to check if all these work or not, if you just do it like this, you can see it has run through all of it and given a true only for the last value. So we should write a print function in the beginning of all these codes. Okay. Now all these
Okay.
codes of course work for numbers, but what is the other interesting thing is it works also for strings. Okay. So when you say
Yes.
case is equal to case, you will notice that it will give you an error and say this is false. This is not the same. Why is it not the same? Because this is lowercase and this is uppercase.
Uppercase.
Okay. Okay. Similarly, if I want to use the length function, I can use the length function. And in the length function, you will see that it says it's true because the count of letters in both case lower, case upper is just the same. Okay. Now, till here, we have
Okay.
seen that there is an assignment which is possible only one by one, right? We said x is equal to 2, y is equal to 3, z is equal to 10, whatever. But if you want to do multiple
Yes.
assignments, we can do that also. Okay. So we can say x is equal to y is equal to z is equal to 1. Now, where does this work? Suppose if we wanted to say a person's name is equal to full name is equal to nickname. Okay. All these are the
Hmm.
same for a person, then we would use something like this.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Okay.
So, we'll stop at this part and we will come
Okay.
back and talk about a bit more about lists and the like in the next session.
Yes.
Okay. See you then.
See you.
Bye.